You do not have to trust her to love her. That is a myth. Female haters want to fuck me.
Repeat after me. Flush your condoms.
And male haters want to beat me. It's that simple.
Wait a minute. You actually thought you were the only guy she was fucking?
But she told me she loved me.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharp.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 548th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are presented by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit forming supplement on the market for energy, focus, and concentration. If you want the focus and concentration without the crash, go to donovansharp.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. Again, that is donovansharp.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. It is Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. Wait a minute. Yep, January 1st, 2020. It is good to have you guys in today. On a Tuesday, we are multi-streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, VK, and OK.ru. And of course, we are 3 very short days away from the launch of my own brand new streaming platform, Sharpstream. So however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharp Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Everything is on schedule with Sharpstream, which of course, as I move my desk here, Sharpstream is going to launch this Friday, January 24th at noon Eastern. I should have done this before I came on the air. There we go. So yeah, this Friday, January 24th, 2020, at noon Eastern. We're clearing a few things up, doing some testing, making sure everything works properly. And so far, so good. I don't foresee any delays in the launch. So just a few short days until I can go back to breaking down these articles, breaking down these videos, and roasting these broads and calling them out. Man, I'm chomping at the bit, man. I really am. But I know I've got to be patient. I know I have to be patient. It is day 12 out of 14. This is day 12 of Donovan's Female Fuckery Fortnight. I am dissecting the many ways that women destroy the lives of men and how they do it with their fuckery. And then, of course, discussing how to avoid, mitigate, and or eliminate said fuckery all over the course of 2 weeks. We are absolutely drawing to a close. We're drawing to a close. Today is day 12. So I've got 2 more days of Donovan's fuckery fortnight, rather. All right, good stuff. All right, well, let's get these numbers up. Make sure that you guys like and share the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So yesterday I gave you guys 15 signs that your wife is planning to blindside you with a long-planned divorce. Today, I'm going to talk about what to do if your wife does indeed file for divorce, or if you beat her to the punch and file yourself. Now, keep in mind that better than 70% of all divorces are filed by women. So what I talk about today applies to all men going through divorce, regardless of who filed. But it goes without saying that most men who get this information today more than likely got blindsided by their soon-to-be ex-wives when they were served divorce papers out of nowhere. So just be wary of that. It doesn't really matter who filed or whatever the case may be. What I'm about to talk about today really applies to everything. I've said all week long and all last week that men do not pay attention. This is why men get got. So it stands to reason that it's a safe assumption that just about every man served divorce papers by a soon-to-be ex-wife is taken by surprise. So let's get to it, guys. Let us discuss how men can win your divorce. If you are a man going through your divorce, let us talk about how you can win that divorce. And I'm going to start by relating it to another story. On February 11th, 1990, in Tokyo, Japan, James Buster Douglas entered the ring against Mike Tyson as a 42-1 underdog. Mike Tyson at that point was undefeated He was the undisputed heavyweight champion. No one had ever really pushed him. No one had ever challenged him. Now, no one thought that Buster Douglas would win that fight. Not even Douglas. James Buster Douglas knew he wasn't going to win that fight. But Douglas's manager, his trainer, said, look, man, we don't have a snowball's chance in hell. But we're not just going to go in there and take a dive. Okay? We're not just going to go in there. We're not just going to go in there and give it to him. We're not going to give him this W. This dude is 37-0 with 33 knockouts. Never lost a fight. But he hasn't been past the third round in 14 of his last 15 fights. So if we can just survive past, I don't know, maybe the third or fourth round, we'll have a chance to wear him down. He probably also said to him, all right, James, you've got a 12-inch reach advantage. You have that 12-inch jab advantage. You are longer than him. You're bigger. You weigh more. So if you can keep him away, fight on the perimeter, and avoid trading punches with him on the inside, this will also help. You don't want to stand toe-to-toe with a guy like Mike Tyson. Now, if you make it to the later rounds, James, you need to go to the body and take his win. Go to the body, take that win, wear him down, and maybe, just maybe, we can get out of here without getting knocked out or maybe even lose in a split decision. Well, James Buster Douglas knocked Tyson out in the 10th round and shocked the world. Now, on the other side of this equation, Tyson wasn't at his best. Okay, number one, he didn't train for the fight. He admitted he didn't train for the fight. He didn't train at all for this fight. That's the first reason he lost. Another reason he probably lost is that he had recently split with his longtime trainer, Kevin Rooney, and went with a less experienced trainer, a less experienced manager. So he didn't train, and he takes this fight with someone who doesn't really know him and a lot less experience. Also, Mike Tyson's life had begun spiraling out of control out of the ring. He was going through a very public divorce with Robin Givens. His life was spiraling out of control. To make matters worse, Team Tyson, his corner didn't even have an end swell. An end swell, by the way, it's a steel compress that trainers use to keep the swelling down around his eyes. But they didn't have an end swell. They were unprepared for this fight. So what they had to do is they had to use a rubber glove. They put ice in a rubber glove to keep his eye from swelling up, and that didn't help at all. Tyson was fighting, Tyson was essentially fighting with one eye the last 5 rounds of the fight. Now, let's give credit where credit is due. Team Douglas had a plan, and this is why they won the fight. Divorce, gentlemen, is much the same way. When a man walks into family court or divorce court, he's got no shot. Longer odds even than Buster Douglas had against Tyson. The fact that our court systems are heavily biased towards women, they are now incentivized. Women are now incentivized to file for divorce because in all likelihood, they'll get full custody of the children. They'll be entitled to half of your present and future earnings and use of the family home. But these scenarios happen, these worst case scenarios only happen when men just walk in and play dead. Most men think, well, there's no need in fighting this because I know that she's going to get everything, so I may as well just do what I'm told. Which is the same as a man being accused of murder, getting a court-appointed attorney to defend him, who will basically escort him to the electric chair. What men don't realize is that they don't have to get taken to the cleaners in divorce court and family court if they play their cards right. Yes, the odds are stacked against us. We know this. Just like the odds were stacked against Buster Douglas back in 1990. But Douglas had a plan, and he executed that plan and achieved a favorable outcome. Believe it or not, gentlemen, there are things that men can do to mitigate the inevitable damage a divorce could cause, and that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that this is not legal advice. This is not legal advice, nor is it intended to be. I'm not an attorney or a legal professional. Everything I am about to tell you should be evaluated by an attorney who has a bar license to practice law in the state that you live in. Now that that's out of the way, let us discuss the 10 things. Let's discuss the 10 things that you absolutely must do in order to survive and possibly even win your divorce. Now, keep in mind that all state laws are different. And because no two circumstances are exactly alike, your results may vary. We have to keep that in mind as well. Okay? But the advice that I'm going to give you is universal. Okay? This is all based on common sense. It's based on survival. It's based on protecting yourself and having a good working knowledge of female nature from a red pill perspective. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do before we get into this is we're going to define the word win. We're going to define the word win when it comes to divorce. What should we consider a win? What is constituted as a win in a divorce for a man who is going through a divorce? Well, the first thing, if you guys are looking at your screen, the first thing that has to happen to constitute as a win, got to get 50-50 custody. Okay? 50-50 custody agreement. 1 week on, 1 week off. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. 50% custody. That is part of the win. Second element is that there has to be little to no child support paid by you. That's the second element. The third one, keeping the property you came into the relationship with. Your cars, any homes that you have, any valuable property, collectibles, etc., etc. You want to be able to keep the property you came into the relationship with. Number 4, keeping most of your present and future earnings after the divorce. We're talking about your 401k, your IRAs, your pension, your savings, etc. And number 5, no alimony. So 50-50 custody agreement, little to no child support, keeping the property you came with, the physical property you came with, keeping most of your present and future earnings, and no alimony. Okay? Now, this isn't always possible, guys. We have to be realistic here. You have to understand that you are going to take a loss in some way, shape, or form. This is a divorce. People, both parties, men rarely walk away from a divorce completely unscathed. Okay? You got to understand you're going to have to take a loss. So, for example, you might have to pay a small amount of child support if there's a huge discrepancy in your earnings, between you and your soon-to-be ex-wife, but she doesn't make as much. Okay, but, obviously if she doesn't make as much as you do, you might be ordered to pay a small amount, right? But it's not going to be enough to make or break you if you get 50-50 custody. If you get 50-50 custody, that child support goes way down. Like I said, guys, you're going to have to take a financial hit regardless, but keeping it to a minimum is definitely a win. A loss, on the other hand, would be your wife getting full custody, you paying a ridiculous amount of child support, giving up the family dwelling, giving up the house, losing your car or cars, and her getting a piece of your 401k, your IRA, your Roth IRA, your savings, pension. That would be a huge loss. The idea here is to keep as much of this as possible. If you manage to hang on to most of what you came into the relationship with, if you get 50-50 custody of the kids, and keep most of what you make now and in the future, that is a huge win for men in a divorce in this country. Now, it is a sad state of affairs that these things are considered to be a win in a divorce, right? Because if the court systems really were fair, if they really were based on equalism, like the feminist agenda wants to push on us, then divorces would be clean. All right, well, we're going to split you guys up 50-50 custody. No money changes hands. You raise the kids over here. You raise the kids over there. That's it. But of course, because we understand that the family and divorce courts are anything but fair, we have to go into these things understanding that we are going to take a loss. I'm very fortunate. I've been divorced. I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate that I did not have kids with my ex-wife. All of that said, now that that's established, now that we know what a quote win is, I'm going to give you guys 10 ways to put yourself in a better position to accomplish these things. Number 1, this is very important. You need to accept the fact that your wife is gone and that she is never coming back. Ever. A lot of men make the egregious mistake of thinking there's a chance to reconcile. You need to put that out of your mind. She's fucking other guys. She already has a boyfriend. She has already moved on. This is part of what we talked about yesterday. When men are hit with that long-planned divorce, the soon-to-be ex-wife always makes sure that she lands on her feet. She monkey branches from you to the next guy. She has moved on. You need to. Okay? By holding out hope that you could possibly reconcile with her, you're delaying the inevitable. Now, sometimes she'll actually make you think that there's a chance for reconciliation, but she is setting your ass up. She is setting you up for more money. She's setting you up for more child support. She's setting you up to take more of your shit. Do not, I repeat, do not let your soon-to-be ex-wife tempt you with the possibility of reconciliation. She does not want to reconcile with you. This is false. Number 2, this is a big one. Number 2, do not move out. If you move out, if your wife serves you with divorce papers and you think you're doing the right thing, or you just do what every other man does and you move out, guys, I hate to tell you, but this could be characterized as abandonment. If the house is also in your name, if your name is on that mortgage, gentlemen, you have every right to be there. You have as much right to be in your house as she does. Now, again, I know that the laws are different in different states. Be sure to consult with an attorney. But if your name is on the deed, if your name is on the lease, if your name is on the mortgage, you have just as much a right to be there as she does. A lot of men just do what their wives say. Well, I'm serving you divorce papers and I'm going to keep the kids, so I'm kicking you out. Right? No. If she asks you to move out, don't. It's your place too. Okay? By the same token, don't kick her out. Because if you kick her out, she's going to take the kids and say you kicked her out. Okay? If you don't move out, eventually she will leave. But make sure you document that she left on her own accord and that you did not force her. You need to make sure that the court knows that she left the house, the domicile, of her own free will and volition. If you can, if you have to, record the conversation. If she decides she wants to move out, okay, listen, I just want to make sure that I get this on record. I'm going to record this, and you need to say you are moving out of your own free will and volition. Chances are she's probably not going to agree to that. Maybe you can record a conversation. But again, as far as I know, legally, a recording between you and someone else is not admissible in court if the other person doesn't know about it. But there is a loophole in a few states. I've actually heard this from a few people. While a recording is not admissible in court if the other person doesn't know about it, a video absolutely is admissible. That's one of the loopholes. Again, the laws may change, the laws may have changed, but as far as I know, a video recording with audio is admissible. Case in point, a guy gets falsely accused of sexual assault or rape. If he did the smart thing and install a video camera or put a secret camera recording the sexual encounter, and the DA sees that the sex was indeed consensual and that a rape did not occur, guess what? He's exonerated. That video evidence is admissible in court. Again, check with your attorneys. Make sure that video evidence without her knowledge is admissible. I'm pretty sure it is. Telephone, phone recording conversations or not. If you bug yourself or if you're secretly recording her, my guess is that that's probably not admissible. For whatever reason, video, as long as the audio is accompanied with video, you can record what's going on without your soon-to-be ex-wife's knowledge. If you kick her out, here's another thing. If you move out, she's gotta be fucking kidding me. People always call me when I'm on the air. I have no idea who the fuck that was. But if you leave the house, you know what ex-wives like to do? They love to start that smear campaign. And the smear campaign starts with the kids. Your dad isn't shit. Well, if you move out, they're going to say, you know what, little Johnny and Junior and Tracy, Daddy left because he doesn't love you. Daddy left because he's a bad husband and a bad father. If you kick her out, she's going to say, yeah, your dad kicked us out. She will turn your kids against you. That's where it starts. Do not move out. That is your house. You have just as much a right to be there as she does. If she asks you to move out, tell her no. If she decides to move out, you need to record, find some way to get on the record that she left of her own free will and volition. All right, let's take a check. Let's take a check of the chat here. I know you guys are probably chomping at the bit to comment. By the way, the phone lines are open. I'm not going to post the number quite yet. I'll probably post the number here in a little bit. But if you want to get on, it's 914-205-5356. 914-205-5356. And listen, I'm opening up the phone lines. Obviously, call me with your stories. Anything that you feel would help. If I'm inaccurate with anything I say, if you've been through this before, or you know the laws in your state, or if you're a lawyer and I say something that is factually and legally inaccurate, give me a call and let me know. Okay? Remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, I don't have a bar license. I'm not a professional. I'm not a legal professional. Right? But again, this is based purely on common sense. All right, let's see who's in the house. Brandon Warfield says this should be interesting. Dareal ID says, is this live? I can't hear anything. I swear to God. Every day I get some fucking idiot coming in here. Is this live? I can't hear anything. That's because the video hadn't started. Come on, man. You guys are killing me. Leonard Jones says, thanks, Don, for the wisdom. I'm back to dissect some more red pill knowledge. Yeah, I'll be back to that regular dissection on Friday. Pimped Out Geese says, get your boots on, men, and get ready for war. That's exactly what it is. 100% truth. 100% truth. Freelance Ronin is in the house, as always. Jiu-Jitsu Dude says, I'm going through divorce. Show me the route out, bro. I'm going to do my best. Devansu Chakraborty says, that is a win. Well, yes. Listen, man. Let me go back. And I want to be very, very careful. And Devansku DC, be very careful about being meathead red pill guy, right? Like, be very careful about being meathead red pill guy, right? Meathead red pill guy says, well, if she fucks up even one time, I don't care how hot she is, she's fucking gone. No, she's not. Like, that's ridiculous. You can't dump a girl because she fucked up once. That's just not feasible. Well, when you say things like, well, this is a win, well, what is, listen, it's 50-50 custody, right? If you get 50-50 custody, if you get little to no child support, if you keep your property, keep what you came with, if you keep most of your present and future earnings, and you pay no alimony, yeah, I would consider that a win. Not only did you not get raked over the coals, you got to keep most of what you came with, and you get to see your kids and not pay child support or alimony. Yes, that is a win. That is the answer to your question. Don't be meathead red pill guy. Don't be meathead red pill guy, man. Tyler Durden says, in some countries, you can't even opt out of marriage. Jesus Christ. Tyler Durden also says, if you live like a married couple, you're automatically married. Yeah, in the States, Tyler, that I believe is called common law marriage. And common law marriage laws vary from state to state. I live in a state where common law marriage is not recognized, right? I've lived with Dev now for what? I've lived with Devin over 2 years, right? If I live with her for 10 years more, we're not going to be common law married, not in the state of Pennsylvania, right? Kyle Mitchell says, as long as you are married, even if your name is not on the lease, you can stay until a legal separation or finalized divorce. I did not know that. So according to Kyle Mitchell, and I know Kyle lives in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So according to Kyle Mitchell, as long as you are married, even if your name is not on the lease, You can stay until a legal separation or finalized divorce is, I guess finalized. Phone lines are open, guys. I'm going to continue on with the content, but if you guys have anything to add, anything to subtract, anything to correct me on, please do. Ace in Spades says, how does any sane man stay in the house with the idea of his marriage going to shit and his wife divorcing him? Listen, that's a good question, but what you have to understand, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any of this is going to be easy, right? No man wants to live be living with a woman who is probably fucking somebody else who's getting ready to divorce rape him. No man wants to do that, right? But mark my words, if you leave, your soon-to-be ex-wife is going to tell her divorce attorney, and she's going to tell the judge, as soon as I served on divorce papers, he abandoned us. This happens. They will say, oh, so you abandoned your family. If you kick her out, they'll say, well, you kicked out your family. Your wife wants a divorce, and you decided to just kick out your family. You decided to leave or abandon the family. That's a strike against you. So while I understand the question, how does any sane man stay in the house? Listen, man, easier said than done, still got to be done. If you don't want to get divorce raped, this is what you got to do, man. Wicked Manish comes right back and answers that question, says, got to have strong mental game. Just stay in your house and focus on your hobbies. Real talk. Real fucking talk. One of my animals is in there wreaking havoc. I have no idea which cat is doing what. Kyle Mitchell says, understand that divorce is war. He's talking to Ace of Spades. War is not comfortable. Yeah, listen, this ain't going to be easy. This is what has to be done. Wholesome Crumpet says, this is some James Bond next level shit, man. Hey, listen, it's going to get deeper. Tom Brokaw says, no fault divorce is the problem. It used to be that you could destroy her in a divorce trial if you catch her cheating. Exactly. No fault divorce has completely screwed men. Because women can divorce a man for any reason and not be held accountable, even if she's the cause of said divorce. Brass Mustache says, can't wait for Friday so Donovan can take these thoughts to school again. Professor Sharp is going to be back in the building. I can't wait, man. We're less than 3 days away. Lars Vaughn says, will we be able to reach your previous content again, or are they gone? You will. Okay? And you can see my content. Right now, you can see my content on Patreon. But I can't put my old content on this channel or my main channel, because if I do, they're going to get flagged. They're going to be taken down. I have everything backed up. Don't worry. So even if they take my main channel away from me right now, I have everything backed up. So none of my content is in any danger. I've got over a terabyte and a half. I've got over a terabyte and a half of video and audio, so you do not have to worry about that. But for the time being, you can only access my old content on Patreon. When I release Sharp Stream, I'm going to be releasing releasing some of the old content on my website and on Sharpstream, so you'll be able to access it that way. But nothing that is on Patreon is going to be available on Sharpstream. My patrons pay for that exclusive content, and it would be unfair to them to give to you guys for free what they have decided to pay for. But trust me, there is enough for everybody. If you don't have $5 a month to become a patron, believe you me, I have oceans of content. Trust me. Trust me. Jiu-Jitsu Dude says, in Southern California, my lawyer said do not leave the house until you get custody orders from the judge. That makes sense. Pimped Out Geese says, you gotta man up and plan your exit. Nonstop Dre 360 says, you're screwed if you get divorced while you are active duty. Holy smokes, man. You are absolutely positively not kidding. If you're active duty, holy smokes. Holy smokes. Fernando Trejo. Good to see you in here. I haven't seen you in here in a while. Fernando Trejo is in the house. Says, mechanic at work makes $38 an hour, has 50-50 custody for his daughter, didn't marry the chick. He pays $300 a month. He said, make sure the chick you knock up makes good money, though. Right. And a lot of guys say, well, fuck this. I'm not getting married. Okay. Good strategy. But understand that just because you don't get married doesn't... Listen, Marriage isn't really what screws you. It's having a kid with a woman that screws you, right? Like, dude, you guys could be in a 5-year relationship. If you're in a 5-year relationship and you don't have any kids and never got legally married, then you're going to be scot-free. The minute you have a kid with a woman, she's got you by the balls. So you can talk all you want to. Oh, I'm never getting married. Okay, well, just make sure you wrap your junk as well. Always make sure you wrap your dick, guys. Always make sure of that. Paul Godin says, my brother is in the middle of a divorce from an active duty woman. She is still taking him to the cleaners. Man, I'm telling you. Shabazz says he just read that Maryland does not have common law. Great. Yeah, man. Yep. Okay. Let us get back to the content. Let's get back to the content here. Again, guys, the phone lines are open. 914-205-5356. Again, that is 914-205-5356. That is the number to call if you want to get on the show. Pardon me. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, there we are. Can't have that irresponsible stuff in here. Pardon me. Number 3. Hire a female divorce attorney. Guys, women know women. Okay? Women hate each other, guys, and the reason why they hate each other is because they know each other. Okay? Women know how each other work. They know how they pull. They know how they work around, and they know about the shit they pull. Women, familiarity breeds contempt, and there is no truer example of this than women. Okay? Female attorneys don't buy into the bullshit because they, too, are women. Female attorneys don't get swept up in a woman's emotions and or beauty. They don't. Listen, if you hire a male attorney, and I've heard of this, future ex-wives will flirt with your male attorney. Happens all the time. Dude, I used to get emails about this all the time. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a divorce, and my ex-wife is flirting with my attorney. Like, that is, I'm telling you, women will stop at nothing. Women will stop at absolutely nothing to get their hooks in you. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show you guys I'm actually going to cue this up here. And when I lived in Reno, call this Maryland, York. When I lived in Reno, there was a divorce attorney by the name of Marilyn York. And she is a female divorce attorney. She actually characterizes herself as a men's rights divorce lawyer. And she is one of the most hated. She's one of the most hated women. She is one of the most hated women in Reno. So here it is on your screen. I'm going to bring this up here. All right. Just take a listen. Take a listen, and here we go.
Love women. We're such planners. Like right now, as you guys sit there relaxing in front of the TV, wondering what she's making you for dinner, your wives are racking up community debt, transferring money into a separate bank account, finally losing that baby weight after 9 years, and hooking up with your son's baseball coaches on Facebook. What's the one thing a man needs when he's blindsided by a long-planned divorce? A great female attorney. I'm men's rights attorney Marilyn York, and I represent men in all family law matters.
Bingo. This is what you need.
I love women.
Wait a minute. This is exactly the kind of attorney that you need. Marilyn York clearly understands that the best thing that a man can do when he is in a divorce is to hire a female attorney, because she knows that familiarity breeds contempt. She knows how women operate. Here's another one. Take a look and listen.
Hey guys, are you watching the game at a friend's or the bar again because you can't watch at home with your wife? Or worse, because she kicked you out and kept your couch, your flat screen, and your kids? What's the one thing a man needs when he loses a good woman? A good lawyer. And when he loses a bad woman, he needs a great lawyer.
Boom.
What makes a good woman a bad woman? You tell me. You're the one that can't watch the game in your own home. I'm men's rights attorney Marilyn York, and I represent men in divorce, custody, and family law matters.
Yo, that chick keeps it 100. This is the kind of attorney that you need, guys. This is the kind of attorney that you need. Women, guys, I'm telling you right now, women hate each other. They hate each other. Even best friends hate each other. Men don't have frenemies. Women do. This is why you need a female attorney. This is the one time I would advise a man to hire a woman over a man. That and maybe an interior decorator, right? But a female divorce lawyer is greater than a male divorce lawyer for men. Hire a female attorney. Caller, I see you on the line. I'm going to get to you here very, very shortly. Let's go to number 4. Be very, very careful about what you say, what you write, and what you text. Gentlemen, divorce is very, very difficult to go through, okay? Emotions are high. Your emotions are high. Your heart is broken. You know, you found out she's fucking somebody else. She's fucking, Kevin in sales. Then you found out that she was fucking his best friend, Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player, who may or may not be a fugitive from justice in 4 different states. I mean, it's an emotional time. It's understandable. But, gentlemen, this is where your soon-to-be ex-wife will try to reconcile or give you that impression. But, guys, I'm here to tell you, anything you say, write, or text can and will be used against you in a court of law. I've been arrested almost 20 times, guys. And we all know what the Miranda rights are. What's the first thing that cops tell you when they slap the cuffs on you? You have the right to remain silent. Well, we hear that so much, we think it's a bad thing. But what that officer is telling you is that you have a right to shut the fuck up. You have a right not to say anything that the cops can use against you to incriminate you and get a guilty verdict. Make you look bad. It's the same thing with women. Anything you say, write, or text can and will be used against you. So, for example, if you tell her, okay, well, I'll let you have custody, she will use that and say that you agreed to it. Not that it would or could stand on its own grounds to give her custody, but it would certainly hurt your case. Why would you tell your wife you're giving her full custody if that's not what you intended to do? Do you not want to be around with your kids? Do you not want to be your kids? Do you not want custody of your kids? Do you not care about your kids? Here's another example. Let's say you go on some emotional tirade. You're cussing her out, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe you're a slut. Guys, she'll use that and say that you threatened her. She'll say that you are emotionally unstable. She'll say that you are an unfit father because of that. Here's another example. You might accidentally divulge to your soon-to-be ex-wife that you have a side business or an additional stream of income. Maybe by saying inadvertently, well, my Patreon money comes in. When my Patreon money comes in, I'll pay for little Johnny's doctor appointment. She'll use that, and the court will investigate that source of income to paint you as dishonest and add that to the child support. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I've got somebody at my door. Be right back, guys. Sit tight. Unbelievable. Ay. My apologies, guys. Dudes, I swear to God, no, my phone never rings. Nobody ever comes to the door. until I'm on the air. Anyway, if you really want to be careful about what you say, about what you write, and about what you text, if you want to make damn sure that you're not going to say anything that could hurt your case, maybe you can even get a third-party arbitrator or a third-party arbiter to arbitrate all of your communications. That way there's no mistaking about what was just said. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to the phone lines here. 914-205-5356. Again, the number is 914-205-5356. Let us go. Your number ends in 3668. You're on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Yeah, am I online, Donovan?
Yep.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask is that don't they have in the United States like certain types of match contracts like here in West Europe? I mean, in West Europe, we have like match under community of goods or separation of goods. And if you choose like the match contract separation of goods, even if there's a divorce, assets are divided between the both parties in the sense that what the man has brought into as assets stays his assets. Also, what he acquires during the match stays his assets, and the woman cannot make any claims on his assets.
Yeah, that's not
even if they divorce.
Yeah. That's not how it works in the U.S. What country do you live in?
Belgium.
Okay, you live in Belgium. Yeah. Listen, I'm not familiar with the laws in Belgium, but I can tell you that the division of assets, and not to say that that's impossible here in the United States, but what you need to understand, and I'm sure you probably do, but in the United States, women are always given favorable treatment in court, especially family court, divorce court. There isn't an option that I know of where the man keeps everything that he came with and that she gets nothing that he acquired, right? Now, there are ways to do that, but you only do that through a lawyer. It doesn't just happen because you signed the papers. No. You have to hire a lawyer to make that happen for you. It doesn't just automatically work that way. This is the thing, caller, and thanks for calling. It was actually a very good question, but this is the thing. What we have to understand is that in order to not get, this is why I said at the top of the show, this is why I said, listen, you are going to take a financial hit. You are going to take a financial hit at some point in this divorce. You're not going to get off scot-free. If you have kids with your soon-to-be ex-wife, there is going to be a pound of flesh taken out of you. Now, best case scenario, the only thing it ends up costing you is your attorney's fees. That's the best case scenario. But you pay those attorney's fees so that your wife, your soon-to-be ex-wife, doesn't take you to the cleaners. You can't go in there and go pro se or represent yourself, right? It would be foolhardy for a man to go into divorce court, into family court without an attorney. So you are going to have to pay. So in the United States, the only way that a man can really keep everything he came into the marriage with, if the only way for a man to keep his 401k, his pension, his present and future earnings is if he hires an attorney. There are no laws in America that automatically say, well, fair is fair. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. All right, let's go to area code 973. Area code 973, you're on Live with Donovan.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Greg.
Hey, Greg, what's up, man?
Good. I wish I can share this with some of my friends that are about to get married or have been married. There was one guy who I worked with not too long ago, and I'd never seen him in less than 2 years. And in those 2 years, he said, when I met him again in Bushwick, he said to me, I got divorced. I said, well, you got divorced? You were married? He's like, yeah, I got married to the girl that you met at the Connolly Theater. I said, oh, you married her. What happened? He said, like things just happened, and but I got the whole full story. That he was simping so hard that she basically let him have that divorce. Basically,
wow.
There was nothing that I was gonna do. But the problem is that he won't learn from his past mistakes, because now he's getting married again. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna walk away from it.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I see all this shit. I'm not in a relationship, and I'm not even in the intentions of getting married. But I see the shit that's going on right now. So this is good for me.
No, I totally agree, man. And again, there's so many men. This is why the red pill is so important. This is why the red pill is so important. Because there are men out here who have been divorced 3 and 4 times. They're paying child support to like 3 different women. They're paying alimony. This is because they haven't learned their lesson, man. They have not learned their lesson. They keep making the same mistakes with the wrong women. This is why the red pill is necessary, so that men can learn these lessons. All right. Yeah, Pimped Out Geese says prenup, but they are garbage. Yeah, a prenuptial agreement does not protect you from anything. No way. Sanyo says the UPS man bringing more high heels. No, I think Devin's got 24 pairs of high heels. I'm not going to buy any for her for a while. She needs it. She definitely needs it. Janik says, Jesus, Donovan, you should get her, Marilyn York, as an advertiser on your show, right? Devansky Chakraborty says, I didn't think lawyers like her existed. Neither did I. Then I'm in Reno. I'm looking at these commercials. I'm like, who in the fuck? Who is this woman and where the hell did she come from? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And you guys see, who else said this here? Give me a second. Somebody said that, oh my God, she came right out with the truth. Yes. Marilyn York, this, she does this on purpose. She knows more, dude, she knows more about red pill truth than the men that she represents. She knows that these dudes are out here dealing with these fucked up women. So she calls them what they are on TV. And dude, dude, there are so many women who hate Marilyn York. Nah, she's giving up the game. She is giving up the game, man. Yep. Came out throwing bombs, dude. Straight up. Kept it all the way fucking real, man. Abram Outlaw, good to see you in here. Says that he just got done paying off his divorce in 2015. Wow. Holy shit. See that, man? That's how that goes. Ay. All right, let's take another phone call here. 914-205-5356. Let us go to area code 514. Area code 514, you're on live at Donovan.
And Donovan, hi, this is Janik. You just quoted me. How you doing?
Hey, Janik, what's up, brother?
Man, you have got to get that lawyer brought on for a show.
Man, I swear to God, dude. That would be...
You have got to get her banners on all over the Sharp Towers.
Yeah.
You're going to bring her so much business, it's not even funny.
Believe it or not, I've actually reached out to her in the past, but I've reached out to her, but I've never heard back. So, yeah, it would be... Dude, if I could get Marilyn York on the show, that would blow the doors off.
That would be a bomb. They would demonetize you like in a fraction of a second. But anyways, to get back on topic, I was one of the lucky ones.
Okay.
I lived in Canada. I was married. And when it was time to call it quits, no kids, 50-50 condo sale, thank you very much.
Good.
I fucked off to Hong Kong and been happy ever since.
Good.
Got a call from her a year later. And she was like, oh, what are you doing? And, oh, sorry, honey, I got somebody in my life now. And that's the last I heard from her.
So you were very fortunate.
I hear that. Yes. And I hear you, giving all this truth and everything, and it just wants to make me cry for the people that are actually going through that.
Man, it's terrible because they don't know, dude. They have no idea how it is out here.
Oh my God. Anyway, I won't keep you up for long. Can you please put the fat ass video where you lost 100 pounds on? Because I'm down to 65 pounds dropped. I can't see why YouTube would bitch about it.
Well,
but I got to show this to other fat asses.
Yeah, listen, I did Scorched Earth. I just took down all of my videos. I didn't have time to go through and think, okay, this one looks okay, but that's a good one. I don't see any reason for YouTube to take that one down, so I'll put that one back up for you.
All right, all good. I'm done. Get to the next caller.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Janik Latalian, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Check it in. Jiu-Jitsu Dude says, maybe if you sign a prenup, it will reduce the damage? No. Nope. David Seelig says pre and post nups get broken like prom night hymens. Real talk, man. Real talk. Dude, prenuptial agreements used to mean something. They don't mean a damn thing. Prenuptial agreements are regularly just torn up in court. Regularly torn up in court. Yeah, Jenny Schluter says, how can a prenup contract be overruled? What are contracts there for then? That is a very good question, but trust me, this is why men can't win in this country. You have a prenuptial agreement. It is signed by the woman. There are 100 different, dude, prenuptial agreements are torn up by judges all the time. They are not worth the paper they are printed on. Straight up. Straight up. Ace in Spade says, my thoughts on a red pill marriage like Rollo Tomasi and Steve the Dean Williams. I mean, good for them, you know? Good for them. Rollo has actually addressed this before, right? Rollo encourages men not to get married, even though he's been married for 23 years. Rollo is strongly in the camp, hey, listen, do as I say, not as I do. But Rollo also understands that, hey, he says, listen, I love my wife very much. We have a child together. I think she's like 21 years old, so she's up and out of the house. He says, but I realize that my wife could go feral at any time for any reason. That's the risk I take. You guys have to understand that when you're in relationships with women of any level, fuck buddy, boyfriend and girlfriend, marriage, private marriage, listen, your risk is not zero, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You don't want to go in and say, well, if risk is inevitable, and no. You want to mitigate your risk. You want to make sure that you reduce the odds of something bad happening as low as you can. But there is no such thing as a relationship that comes without risk. So Rollo Tomasi would gladly tell you, yeah, I love my wife. I'm glad I married her, but I'm not going to sit here and say that because I'm Mr. fucking Red Pill, because I'm Rollo Tomasi, that I too am not susceptible to the things that a woman could do to me in the event of a divorce. Same with Steve the Dean. Same with Steve the Dean. Now, all of that said, the way they have trained their women, the way they are in their relationships, it is far more likely than not that that would never happen to them, right? But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Mrs. Tomasi could very well try to divorce rape Rollo. Mrs. Dean Williams could do the same thing. It's risk versus reward. Rollo said, you know what? I'm willing to take this risk. Steve the Dean said, I'm willing to take this risk. I said, listen, man, move it in with Devin. I guess I'm assuming a little bit of risk. Willing to take the risk. Right now, the pros outweigh the cons for both me and her. If that stops happening for me or her, then I guess this is over. Life goes on. All right. Excellent. All right, well, let's get back to what we were talking about. My Instagram audience is going away in 1 minute, so thank you very much for tuning in, my Instagram audience. All right, so let us continue with number 5. The fifth thing to keep in mind if you want to win your divorce, or at least reduce the odds of getting taken to the cleaners. Number 5, do not agree to anything. Don't verbally agree. Don't agree via text. Don't agree to anything via email. What she's doing here, guys, is what your soon-to-be ex-wife is trying to do. Is she's trying to appeal to your sense of fairness and your provider instinct. And she is doing this to set you up, guys. She knows you still love her and the kids. And with this knowledge, she will attempt to get you to agree to certain things to get more shit for herself. This is what she is going to do. Right? Don't fall for it, guys. Don't fall for the guilt trip stuff. You don't love your kids. You don't want to be a good father. This is why you need to limit your communication with your soon-to-be ex-wife in the first place and watch what you say, write, or text to begin with, as I talked about in number 4. Again, I don't know the law. I don't know the laws in certain states. This is just common sense. But trust me when I tell you, that can probably be used against you in a court of law or in family or divorce court, right? She could show the court a text message that says that you've agreed to give her $1,000 a month for child support. She could use an email that you said that you would agree to pay the health insurance. She could record a phone conversation that you agreed to let her have the house or give her full custody, or maybe even record a video. Don't agree to anything. Don't give her anything. Do all of these things, all of the agreements, do all of this through your female attorney. If there's anything that needs to be said, anything that needs to be given, anything that needs to be agreed to, go through your female attorney. Again, don't buy into her threats, right? She's going to tell, well, they're going to give me the house, the kids, the cars, and the dog and half your paycheck, so you might as well just do it anyway. Dude, she doesn't know one way or the other. That's why she's trying to get you to agree to it. Anything your ex-wife, anything your soon-to-be ex-wife gets should be court-ordered and negotiated through your attorney. Communicate with your ex-wife, your soon-to-be ex-wife, with a mindset that she is trying to fuck you over. Because she is, guys. Don't try to be a good guy. Don't try to be fair. That shit's useless. Too many men out here get caught up in trying to look like the good guy, which is understandable, right? Because experts, listen, women are experts at smear campaigns, and we'll go over more of this later. But do not agree to anything without your lawyer present. Number 6. Keep your friends and family out of this business. Keep your friends and family away from this divorce. Do not get them involved. Don't tell them anything. Don't give them details. Don't tell them anything. And the reason for this is your soon-to-be ex-wife could get information out of them and use what you've told against you. She can use what you've told them against you in court. You could vent to your buddy, right? You could be, your buddy just wants to be there for an ear, and you text her, that fucking bitch cheated on me, I'm gonna fucking kill her. Your buddy could inadvertently tell her this and other things that you've said to him in confidence. Sometimes this is how diabolical women are. Sometimes she will put her family up to befriending you and giving you a false sense of security to get you to say, text, or write anything that could damage your case. I have heard of this happening on more than one occasion. If you need to talk to somebody, if you need someone to talk to a therapist. Talk to a counselor. They're bound by patient confidentiality, so they are legally obligated to keep their mouths shut. Your family might have your best interest at heart, guys. They very well might, and they really want to be there for you in your time of emotional pain. I get it, okay? But all it takes is for one of her family members to reach out to one of your family members. Something gets said about what you said, and it turns into a big thing. Tell your family to remain radio silent about everything and instruct them not to communicate with any of her family members. Period. Number 7, rather. Deactivate all social media. I repeat, deactivate all social media. Gentlemen, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Divorces are won and lost on social media. This happens all the time. Women and their families, your soon-to-be ex-wife and her entire family, will have your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter, your Snapchat. They will have all of this under constant surveillance to spot anything that could help her, hurt you, or both. Guys, listen, I know it's tempting to show her that you're doing fine without her, which you're not, right? You're not doing fine without her, but you just want it to look that way, which is understandable. I get it. But gentlemen, it is a lose-lose situation. You post a picture of you and a hot girl you're fucking, she'll claim you cheated on her with that girl, which makes you a bad husband and father. She'll also question if you brought your new girl around your children, right? Post a picture of you on vacation. Well, how did you pay for that? Right? Post a picture of you buying something nice. Well, how did you pay for that? Where'd you get the money for that? Post something about what you're doing, and she'll say something like, well, if you're doing X, Y, and Z, she'll say something, if you're doing X, Y, and Z, why weren't you ever there for the kids? Ex-wives will also use social media to start a dialogue and a narrative about the divorce to bait you into doing or saying something stupid so she can turn it around and say you threatened her or something to that effect. Guys, we've all seen it. right? We've all seen knockdown, drag-out fights on Facebook between people who have just broken up or soon-to-be divorced couples with all the mudslinging involved. And if you, as a man, if you get involved with that nonsense, it is always a lose-lose situation. Men never win in Facebook fights. Men never win in these situations. If you want to avoid all of that nonsense, deactivate everything and tell your friends and your families not to pay attention to anything that she or her family members post or say. Plus, here's another thing. When she is running her smear campaign, she can't tag you in posts. Not that her friends and families won't see your name, but if you're off social media, it has much less of an impact on them and you because you're not seeing it, you're not hearing about it. And tell your friends and family not to tell you anything about what she's posting on social media. You didn't need to know that stuff. Now, when it's all over and the dust has finally settled and everything is agreed to, everything's in place, everything's taken care of, then you can post pictures of you and your new, hotter, blonder girlfriend with huge tits laying on the beach sipping pina coladas. And trust me, that picture will eventually get back to your ex-wife. You have to lose the battle to win the war. Be patient. Deactivate all social media. Number 8. Take up a productive hobby. Like I said before, guys, divorces take an emotional toll. They really do. They hurt. Even if you don't love her anymore, it's still hard. When Darcy and I got our divorce, when our divorce was finalized, I did not love her anymore. Dude, I fell out of love with Darcy 4, maybe 5 years in. I just didn't give a shit. Even still, I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't at least a little bit bummed. I mean, I'd been married to her for 7 years, right? It was kind of a bummer. I didn't cry because I didn't really care, but yeah, it was like, you know what? That kind of sucks, right? I spent 7 years of my life with this woman and, now it's all kind of over. It's kind of a drag. Guys, take up a productive hobby. Start lifting weights, write a book, ride a bike, build ships and bottles. Do whatever you have to do to get your mind off of the divorce and improve yourself as a man. Do not start drinking. Do not start doing drugs because those things make it much, much worse. Believe me. Number 9. Document everything. Guys, document phone calls, text messages, email correspondence. Documenting everything, what that does is that eliminates the he said, she said. And remember, guys, do not give her anything to use against you because guess what? She will be documenting everything too. Oh, trust and believe, she will be documenting everything too. When you're with your kids, keep all of the receipts of things you've bought for them. Clothes, food, school supplies. This shows that you are a good father who takes care of your children. When you take the kids out to have fun, take pictures, take videos, take selfies. Take these pictures to show that your kids like being with you and that they love you. Take pictures of you eating ice cream. Take pictures of you watching movies. Take pictures of you guys playing at the park, painting, playing in the yard. Take pictures of anything and everything you can think of that puts you in a good light as a father. Document it with pictures and videos. The reason why this is very important, is one of the most important steps in this process, is that as soon as your wife files for divorce, guys, she starts the smear campaign immediately, and sometimes even beforehand, right? She's going to try to paint you as a deadbeat dad who doesn't give a shit about his kids, and she does this for the sole purpose of getting full custody, which entitles her to child support, government assistance, as well as the family home and cars. Women know and understand very clearly that what they say holds much more weight in a court of law and in the court of public opinion. And they know that the court of public opinion heavily influences the court of law. So they'll say whatever they have to in order to curry favor with the public, in order to influence the family court judge. So when she says, he threatened me, you can show the screen grabs of the text conversation to prove your innocence, to prove that never happened. when she says he never buys anything for the kids. You can produce the receipts that shows you paying for school clothes, school supplies, doctor's visits, meals, anything else you paid for. The court of public opinion and the court of law doesn't believe anything that we as men say, but they believe everything a woman says, regardless of her lack of evidence. The only way, gentlemen, to win against a smear campaign is to document everything. Finally, number 10. Oh, wait a minute. I went backwards. Finally, number 10. Communicate with your children regularly, guys. You gotta stay in communication with your kids. Like I said, your ex is going to start that smear campaign as soon as she serves you with the papers, likely even sooner. She'll talk shit about you. She'll lie about you. Guys, do not do the same thing. Do not get down. Do not get down and roll around in the mud with your ex-wife. Don't do it. Because your ex-wife will go back. They'll go back and tell her, right? Not only that, your kids will tell your ex-wife what you said. Oh, your mom's a slut. She fucked Dave. She fucked Kevin. They're going to go back and say, hey, daddy says that you fucked Dave and Kevin and a bunch of other guys. Is this true? Right? And not only that, she'll probably ask them, well, did daddy say anything about me to them? She's looking for stuff to use against you guys. Don't give her that ammunition. Here's another thing. Do not ask her about what she's up to. Don't ask your kids about what your mom, hey, so what did your mom do? What did your mom say? Don't ask them that stuff. You don't want to know. Don't ask them about what she's saying about you. If they start to tell you stuff that she said about you, say, listen, kids, I love you. I don't need to hear that stuff. So keep that between you and your mother. But make sure listen, if you talk shit about her, she's going to use it against you. But guys, make sure your children know that you love them and show them that you love them. You need to communicate to your children that the divorce is not their fault. If they ask you, well, why did you and mommy split up? Tell them, look, guys, it's complicated. And I'll explain it when you're older. But all you need to know and understand right now is that both your mother and I, we love you very much. It's not your fault. This is a mommy-daddy thing. This has nothing to do with you. If they ask them who was at fault, tell them it's nobody. Well, was it your fault or her fault? It's nobody's fault. Okay? Guys, this is where you take the high road. Look, man, I'm here to tell you, kids aren't stupid. Kids aren't dumb, man. Like, the mom may influence them to some degree with what they say. But single mothers are terrible moms. Single mothers are selfish and they behave badly. You want to know something? Kids pick up on this stuff very easily. Okay? They do. They're not stupid. If you're the parent who acts responsibly, if you're the parent who acts rationally, if you're the parent who doesn't talk shit about the other parent, your kids are going to see this for themselves. Okay? You're going to have to listen. Got to give your kids a little more credit as far as their intelligence is concerned. They know the difference between a good parent and a bad parent. They may not realize it right away, but they will down the road. Okay? They will down the road. They'll replay everything in their minds and they will act accordingly. Listen, my mother tried the same thing on us. Dude, I grew up thinking my dad was an ain't shit deadbeat dad. My mother used to tell us that my dad is selfish. Psh. Well, the older I got, the more I realized that no, my slut of a mother is selfish. My slut of a mother, she's the one who left us with our father while she went and chased some crackhead-ass nigga up in Detroit. She was the one who left us home alone while she went to the club every night. She was the one that was bringing new men into the house every other fucking week back when we're, Jesus Christ, 8, 9, 10 years old. No, she was the selfish one. She was the irresponsible one. And we ended up figuring that out years later, regardless of what our mother said about that. Okay? Now, your ex will also try to spoil your kids by buying them things, giving them money, not disciplining them, and then telling the courts that you're mean if you discipline them, and telling the courts that you're mean when you discipline them and keep them in line. Okay? She will do everything in her best interest as far as the courts are concerned. Your ex-wife will do everything in her best interest, but she never has the kids' best interest at heart because she is using them as a means to an end. And guys, kids pick up on this stuff. They do. They're not stupid. They like the toys and the gifts. They like the ice cream and not having to go to bed early and get whatever the hell they want. But when they see mom's face on the phone all the time and not paying attention to them, they'll get the picture rather quickly. If you continue to be a good father to your children, everything will take care of itself as far as they're concerned. Do not get down and roll around in the mud with your wife. Ex-wife. Communicate with your kids regularly. At the end of the day, guys, there is no silver bullet for divorce. Like I said at the top of the show, the deck is heavily stacked against men, and it's a shame. It's a shame that avoiding financial ruin in any divorce is considered a win for men in divorce, while it's an epic failure for women. If a woman, see, the best case scenario in America in 2020, the best case scenario for an ex-husband is the worst case scenario for a wife, an ex-wife. Best case scenario for us, things remain status quo. I don't lose anything. If the wife is in that situation, that is the worst case scenario. Well, I didn't lose anything, but God damn it, I didn't get any of his money. I didn't get full custody of the kids. That's a damn shame, but that's how it is. As shitty as that is, guys, it is important for us to realize that we can avoid getting completely fucked over by the system in a divorce. Okay? You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do your due diligence. You're going to have to hire the right attorney, right female attorney. It's going to take effort and it's going to take money. Okay? But if you keep these things in the front of your mind and apply them accordingly and consistently, you'll keep from getting got by your slut of an ex-wife. Don't let that bitch win. Don't let her win. Protect yourself. Put in the work. Exercise temperance and discipline. Because when she crashes and burns, and she will, you can drive by the wreckage with your hotter, tighter, younger, childless girlfriend and laugh all the way to the beach. All right. Okay, let me open up I'm going to open up the phone lines for a few more minutes. I'm going to open up the phone lines for I'm going to open up the phone lines for another 5 minutes. So if you want to get in on the conversation, if you have something to say, if you have something to add, subtract, correct me on anything, 914-205-5356. Again, that is 914-205-5356. While I am waiting for the phone lines to populate, let me bring up the chat and see if you guys are... All right, perfect. Yes, Freelance Ronan says, gentlemen, do not forget to like the video. Please do not forget to like the video. You guys know how this goes. Random Tuber says, Donovan, what do you think about the people that are teaching men that they can sue for child support? That's an incomplete question. Of course, listen, I don't know anything about that, so I can't really answer that question. Young Lion's perspective says, prenups are literal toilet paper for judges. I'm telling you, I keep trying to... There are so many men out here who do not realize that signing a prenup doesn't protect them from anything. Doesn't protect them from anything. It's like using a piece of paper as a bulletproof vest. It's ridiculous. They never work. Nico Namaya says the prenup involves the state. It gives the state control, and the state is feminist. That's exactly right. Tom Brokaw said contracts only mean something between people of honor, meaning men. Absolutely. Area code 724 and 424. I see you guys in the queue. I'm going to get to you guys in just a second. Wholesome Crumpets is failing to plan, is planning to fail, period. I agree wholeheartedly. Ace Khalil says, so prenups don't mean anything in court, but text messages are solid. Jesus Christ, these women are in cahoots with the courts. Dude, listen, Ace Khalil, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got a prenuptial agreement agreed to by both parties, but those things regularly get thrown out, yet if you text her something out of the way or out of pocket, she can use that against you in a court of law. This is how it is, guys. This is how it is. David Seelig says, I agree with everything except for the female attorney part. We regularly eat female attorneys alive. Touche there, David Seelig. Touche. If you're going to get a female attorney, you need to get a competent female attorney. Okay? Get a female attorney like Marilyn York. You guys can tell that Marilyn York is very competent. She is very apt, or she is extremely adept at being an effective divorce attorney for men. That's for sure. But touche there, Mr. Seelig. All right, let us go to the phone lines. Area code 724. You're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
This is Pimped Out Geese.
What's up, man?
I got a lot to add to this, I think.
Let's do it.
I've been in the family court system. I've got lucky. I've never been married or anything like that, but I've been in the family court system for, oh, man. I mean, my oldest daughter is 13, and I've been in family court since she was 3 months old. And let me tell you, gentlemen, everything he's telling you applies to that as well.
Good.
Like, for instance, did you know that here in the state of Pennsylvania, there's there's in the law, in the PA code, there's a special statute to give children and womanhood special privilege. So what does that mean? That means that the courts will absolutely believe them without a shadow of a doubt, without proof.
Right.
That's the
Wow.
law here in PA.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, guys, that's why I didn't want to call in until later on. You mentioned something really important.
Okay.
The documentation.
Yeah.
You guys, you document everything. But when you document everything, don't get lazy with it. You got to get timestamps.
That's right.
You got to get days, everything, all the way down to the executive. You got to get it on point. Now I have full custody of my kid now.
Okay.
Okay. And it wasn't for and it was a long battle. You know what I mean? It took years and years. But eventually the crazy will. If you keep on your shit and you keep documenting and you keep you get your competent attorney. And I've had incompetent attorneys, believe me.
Sure.
You get your competent attorney, and you keep fighting. You don't have to lose it. You don't have to lose it.
That's what I'm saying. So many guys
absolutely do not have to lose.
This is the thing, Geese, is that a lot of guys have they have valid complaints about the court system. I got screwed over in divorce court. My wife took me for everything I had. Okay, listen, we know that the deck is stacked against you, but what these men are not telling you is that they just rolled over and played dead. Right? They just said, well,
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to get screwed anyway, so I'm not.
Absolutely.
No, they didn't document everything. They were talking shit about their soon-to-be ex-wives. They got down and rolled around in the mud. They're going back and forth on social media.
Shit.
They're doing all of these things. But But what they don't understand is that they were every bit complicit to getting screwed over in the court system as their wife. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can fight back.
Absolutely. And another thing real quick, and I'll let you go here. Here in PA, we have 16 factors that a judge absolutely has to consider when rendering a verdict in a custody trial. Okay, now whether or not they do a good job of that, that's neither here nor there. But they have a 16-point guideline, and it's in the law. It's the Carter Code that they tell you, okay, X, Y, Z. This is what we consider X, Y, Z for this situation, that situation.
Right.
Every state, I'm pretty sure, has something very, very similar. And guys don't. I mean, you want your attorney. Don't get too lazy there. Understand the law. Know the law. You got to understand these things, man. Because I've saved some of my incompetent attorneys myself more than a few times.
Okay.
Okay. You've got to understand this stuff. The Baton Affairs office and all that other jazz. You really got to learn that stuff. But anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I got to rush in here and get back to work before the building burns down. Appreciate talking to you, Donovan. Good stuff. Keep the content coming. Peace,
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Pimped Out Geese. Thank you very, very much for the call. That was good information there, man. Very good information there. Area code 424. I'm going to get to you in just a second. Jiu-Jitsu Dude says, my ex-wife would ask me, do you love your kids? And then ask me to give her everything. I told her to F off. Yeah, of course. Of course. Listen, women will try to manipulate you. Absolutely. Jiu-Jitsu Dude says, don't be chivalrous. You'll get destroyed for nothing. She doesn't care about you. Cut her loose, brothers. She's willing to set you up like you were never important. Guys, this is very important, what Jiu-Jitsu Dude just said. What you need to understand is that when your wife serves you divorce papers, she stopped feeling anything from you for you a long time ago. There are no feelings. Dude, she will come after you like you do not exist, like you never even knew her, like you guys never even had any kids. Men are always so surprised. God, she was so cold and calculated. And I asked her, did I mean anything to you? And the ex-wife, no, feelings are not involved. And this is one of the few times that women can be pragmatic. You see, when there's money on the line, they can keep their emotions in check, right? But not when it comes to you, because if they don't feel anything for you, they will act like they don't even know you. I'm trying to tell you. Al says she'll fuck your friends to get info from them. Wow, real fucking talk. I co-sign with that. I co-sign with that 100%. James Martinez says, watch out for the guy who is your friend this is good. He says, watch out for the guy who is your friend whose wife is friends with your wife. What you tell that guy, he will tell his wife, and then she will tell your wife. Boom. Boom. This is why I tell you guys, do not get your friends and family members involved. Don't do it. Do not do it. You got to get to your friend before your ex-wife does. You got to let her know. You've got to let him know, hey, listen, man, you got to keep tight-lipped about this stuff. Like, this is going to be a long and drawn-out court battle. If you would, just listen, anything I've ever told you, do me a favor and keep that to yourself. Not only that, if your wife is friends with one of your homeboys, dude, think your homeboy wouldn't sell you out to try to fuck your soon-to-be ex-wife. Psh, straight up. Good comment there by James Martinez. Warren Lee cosigns. He says, facts, James. My ex tried that shit. Telling you. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 424. Area code 424. You're on live at Donovan, and you go ahead.
Hey, what's up, brother? I just got a quick warning for these youngsters that are going through a divorce.
Sure.
I'm getting divorced right now in Southern California, and it's a fairly common thing. If the woman's like a stay-at-home mom, is they'll get divorced and they'll come back. This is what my lawyer told me. They'll come back within like 6 months to a year, begging for you to take them back. And he says from what he's seen, it's always worse when they take them back. So don't ever take these women back. They already fucked up once. Don't do it again.
Right. Wow. Good advice. For whatever reason, I misunderstood you at first because I think I was half listening. But when you said that your lawyer said that the court, it's almost like I thought that you were saying that the woman goes to the court and says, hey, he's begging, to take me back and that he should be penalized for that. But no. So what you're saying is that when you get divorced, and then 6 months later, when your ex-wife crashes and burns because she's been on the carousel and she can't, and she's feeling some type of way about herself, that to take her back, it's always worse. Absolutely. Never, ever, ever.
Yes.
Never, ever, ever root through trash that you already put out on the curb. Do not do it. Thanks for the call, man. Very, very good call. Yeah, dude, never, ever, ever take back an ex-wife. Never. I don't care if you ended it. I don't care if she ended it. That is over with. That is done with. That is over and done with. Abso-fucking-lutely. Val81 says, divorcing my wife very soon. She makes more than me. Crossing my fingers, I just break even. If she makes more than you, you're in a pretty good spot. Very good. All right. Good episode, man. Good episode. Somebody says, convert your money to Bitcoins. The state can't reach them. Theoretically, that sounds accurate. I don't know. You'll have to look into that. But yeah. Drunken Master says, the social media thing is so important. You should be careful even after the divorce. I knew this wench that took her husband to court post-divorce to have her child support increased based on Facebook posts. Man, I'm trying to tell you guys. When there is a divorce involved, past, present, or future, it is never over. It is never over, man. Mr. E 1976 says, like Donovan says, never make an ex your main chick twice. Absolutely. Freelance Ronan says, in the words of Ice Cube, never travel down the same road twice. Real talk. Once it's over, it's over. I don't even care if you broke up amicably. Don't do it, man. Do not do it. Tom Brokaw says, do not convert money to Bitcoin. If the court thinks you are trying to hide money, they can punish you. Good advice there, Tom. Good advice. Ace in Spades says, I know you said go into the mindset that she is trying to fuck you over, but is it possible to resolve spousal differences without getting lawyers involved and paying for the expensive lawyer fees? No. It's not. Listen, there are exceptions to the rule, right? Like, let's not pretend that every single solitary woman is going to try to take you for all that you're worth, right? But those women, gentlemen, are few and far between. Few and far between. Devin has a very good friend of hers who is in that situation. They were married for something like 15 years, they had a boy and a girl. She decided, you know what? I think he had some substance abuse problems or something like that. And she decided, look, you really need to get help. I'm not in love with you anymore. Let's just split. She said, I don't want anything. We'll do 50-50 custody. We both make good money. I don't want anything. I'm not trying to fuck you over. Let's just do this amicably, and let's just be good parents to our kids. That is the exception. That is never, ever the rule. Most women in this country, when they divorce you, they are trying to fuck you over. This is why women are trying to drag a man down the aisle. Women are absolutely, this is why. Because once you marry a woman, she's got her hands around your balls. Once you have a kid with her, she's got you by the balls. And all she's waiting for is one reason to exercise that 7-year itch and get the fuck up out of here with no fault divorce. Think I'm lying, guys. Think I'm lying. Very good question, Ace and Spades. But the answer to your question is no. Dude, no. Unless you're like Devin's, what was her name? I think her name was it Cindy? I think her name was Cindy or Cynthia. I think it was Cindy. Devin has a friend named Cindy who didn't fuck over her husband. She's actually a pretty cool chick. Makes good money, but she's just like, look, man, I'm not trying to fuck over my husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband. He has substance abuse problems. Don't want to kick him while he's down, but I don't want to live with the guy either. I don't want to suffer. Like, we don't have a good marriage. We're not having sex. Like, it is what it is. But that is the exception to the rule. That is the exception to the rule. All right. Pimped Out Geese says, I can write a book about this shit, man. It's the craziest shit I've ever been through. False PFAs because of polygraph test. You can name it. Wow. Trojan Magician says this is good information. I'm married. Says I'm unmarried, but I'm just soaking this up. Someone says, just ask how she is going to take care of the kids, housing, and money, and you'll win every time. Dude, that is ridiculously ignorant. If you ask her, well, how is she going to take care of the kids with the housing and the money? Easy. You're going to pay for it. This is why somebody in the chat said be very, very careful about marrying women who are financially dependent upon you. If your wife divorces you and she doesn't have a job, you're thinking, dude, she doesn't have the house. She can't pay for anything. She can't take care of the kids. Oh, yes, the fuck she can. Yes, the hell she can. And you're going to foot the bill. You're going to finance that. Stupid question. Cool First Place says, I have a 25-year-old friend who is recently divorced. First thing she did was isolate him from family and friends when they moved out of town together, closer to her family. See that? See that? Poncho Jacobs. That's a cool name, Poncho Jacobs. That is the coolest fucking name, Poncho Jacobs, man. Oh, my bad. By the way, Tom Brokaw is now a TSR mod. I'm actually going to start modding some people. Tom Brokaw is I can definitely trust Tom. Freelance Ronan doesn't have a wrench. God damn, dude, my bad. Freelance Ronan, got to make you a moderator. By the way, Freelance Ronan is the head moderator here at TSR Towers. Head moderator. So Poncho Jacobs says, can you explain the real facts and truths surrounding attempts at resource preservation by opting for a private marriage? A private marriage, listen, a private marriage shields you from a lot of a woman's fuckery in divorce court. If it's a private marriage, then you can just up and leave because it was just a private marriage. But being in a private marriage doesn't shield you from a woman's wrath if you have kids with her. Again, this isn't just about being married, guys. This is about having kids. You can say, well, just like the other guy says, oh, I'm never getting married. Yeah, but you're still fucking your girl raw. Right? A man who's in a private marriage is going to lose a lot less than a guy who's never been married but has 3 kids with 3 different women. That's how it works. That's how it works, guys. Oh, yep, Kyle Mitchell lost his wrench too. Yep, got to wrench him up. Kyle Mitchell, TSROG. So yeah, listen, don't get me wrong. There are many advantages to a private marriage. If you're in a private marriage, the state has no say on, if you are in a private marriage and you live in a state that does not have common law marriage laws, you're good. You're in the clear. Dude, I could get married to Devin if I wanted to. I could do a private marriage with Devin. I could do that. We don't have any kids together. So what's she going to take? What's the court going to... Okay, well, okay, well, all right. Well, then that's it. But yeah, a private marriage does not shield you from what she could do if you have kids with her. Al says that's why you only marry a woman close to your income. No, Al. Well, hold on. Let me correct you, Al. If you really want to get married, again, everything comes with risk. A lot of you guys are out here like, Donovan, I know bitches ain't shit, but I want to have kids. Like, I get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some guys that are like, dude, like, I really want to have kids. I want to have children. You got to understand that there's going to be some risk involved. Maybe get a passport, go overseas, have kids over there. If you can't or won't do that, all right, you're going to have to roll the dice. Maybe you stick your dick in crazy, maybe you don't. But when you have children with an American woman in America, you stand, dude, she at any time she could take her pound of flesh. What's it worth to you? That's what you have to ask. So yeah, Al, if you're going to marry a woman close to your income in a state that doesn't have common law marriage and get private marriage and don't have kids with her. That's the only way that you're going to shield yourself from divorce and family court. That's it. That's it. Listen, you want to know what the silver bullet is, guys? If you want to get married, okay, if you want to not get screwed over, enter into a private marriage with a woman who is at or near your income bracket and do it in a state that does not recognize common law marriage. That's the only way. As soon as you put a baby in her, all that's a wrap. Yeah, right. Michael Handy says they could claim common law. We talked about that earlier, Michael. You know what? Let's look this up. Because I think this is some good information. I think this is some good information here. States that recognize common. Wow, must know that I'm talking about this stuff here. Okay. Oh, that doesn't tell me anything. Here we are. Okay. The states that, according to Wikipedia, it says today domestic common law marriages can be contracted in the following jurisdictions. Colorado. If you're in Colorado, common law marriage. The District of Columbia, that's Washington, D.C. Kansas, Montana, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Texas. New Hampshire and Utah. New Hampshire recognizes domestic common law marriages for purposes of probate only. Okay. Utah only recognizes common law marriages that have been validated in a judicial proceeding. A common law marriage may be validated by a court of law up to 1 year after the alleged marriage has been terminated. Out of the 41 remaining states, 13 have never permitted and 28 no longer permit common law marriages to be contracted within their jurisdiction. Okay? So 41 plus 13. Wait, 13. So 41 states, 41 out of the 50 states in the United States of America do not recognize common law marriage. Right? So if you live in if you're looking to get married, right? And you don't want to have kids, make sure A, you do a private marriage, and B, you live in any state except for Colorado, DC, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Texas, New Hampshire, and Utah. That's it. That's it. So 41 of the 50 states 41 out of 50 states in the United States of America do not recognize common law marriage. So no, Michael, listen, the only way she can claim common law marriage is if she lives in one of those 9 states. That's it. Yeah, James Martinez says they could sue for palimony. Listen, nothing is bulletproof, guys. Nothing is bulletproof. Dooley Godot, good to see you in here. Says Donovan, I was worried when your channel was shut down. I'm glad you're back. Yeah, Dooley, I'm building my own platform, dude. Building my own platform. I'm not going anywhere. So, good. Very good. Dr. Red Pill says, Donovan, would you ever have a kid? No, I don't want kids. Just don't. Dooley Godot also says that Minnesota doesn't recognize common law marriage. Right, that's what I just said. I said Montana, not Minnesota. Again, the states that recognize common law marriage. I don't need you guys filling up the chat. Well, this state doesn't listen. 41 out of the 51 or 52 states do not recognize common law marriage. Okay? The states that recognize common law marriage: Colorado, the District of Columbia, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Texas, New Hampshire and Utah in certain situations. Every other state, you're free to go. You're free to go. Janik says, Asian chicks are just as crazy, but damn, what a ride. I like it. Love it. David Seelig says, divorce stinks like ass paste. Devin was mad at me the other day. She's like, oh my God, you said something about ass paste. You didn't have to tell her that you smelled ass paste. I was like, listen, I'm just keeping it all the way 100. If you don't want me talking about your ass paste, then guess what? You got to make sure that there ain't no ass paste down there. And dude, and this is funny. I actually told her, like, when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You did not, like, clean yourself after you took a shit. Like, I'm not going to fuck you from the, oh, she was so embarrassed. So now when hell, she showers before we have sex every time anyway. But she makes damn sure that she scrubs that ass. Hashtag no ass paste. No ass paste. Hell of an episode, guys. Hell of an episode. I'm going to go downstairs and eat an apple because I'm very, very hungry. I'm going to have like a vegetarian salad. And so far so good with this plant-based diet. I'm actually going to put this thing into full throttle. I'm kind of easing into it. But yeah, I'm going to be, I would say probably by the end of this week, I'll be full on plant-based, meaning no meat. No meat. So, anyway, pardon me. So very, very good episode, you guys. Very, very good episode. I'm very, very appreciative of that. Again, guys, we are less than 3 days away from launching Sharp Stream. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.